What's up guys, I'm Roderick, aka Rodman, and welcome back to another video. In this video, with the release of The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom coming out next month, I want to talk about 3 things that I want to be implemented into the new Zelda game. So let's get right into the video. As an avid fan of the Zelda series, I've played and beaten every single game in the series. One really important aspect that I didn't really get in Breath of the Wild was the true dungeon crawling experience. Now let me dive deeper into what I mean, because most likely you're thinking right now, well, you have all the divine beasts and you have over 120 shrines. I understand that, and I think it's cool that we have a lot of different things to solve, but me personally, I'm a really big believer of quality over quantity. Not saying that the divine beast or the shrines were lackluster, because it was a very cool and fresh concept. But me personally, I do think it will be very beneficial to kind of take a step back and go back to what people really think of when they think of Zelda. Yeah, of course, keep the open world formula. But as far as the dungeon crawling, I really want full-length dungeons where you have boss keys, you have small keys, you have dozens and dozens of puzzles to solve in one dungeon. You know, to put it into perspective, the Divine Beast is pretty much the equivalent of a side dungeon in any other Zelda game. Like, this is the equivalent of, you know, the Ice Cavern in Ocarina of Time, or Beneath the Well in Ocarina of Time, something like that. I really would love a full-length Breath of the Wild, especially with this engine. It can be absolutely gorgeous, absolutely beautiful, and it can be very challenging as well. A lot of the people who play Zelda games, they aren't new to this series. They're veterans. So it will be very interesting to see like full-length dungeons in the style of Breath of the Wild. So that is the number one thing that I am looking forward to seeing in Tears of the Kingdom. So let's go ahead and move on to number 2. One thing that I know that myself and millions of other fans of the series would like to have implemented into a well-structured game is the ability to play as Zelda. I'm not going to say that she should be the main character or should have, you know, a level of importance as Link when it comes to gameplay, but it would definitely be refreshing to be able to toggle and play as Zelda every now and then, just to, you know, differentiate the gameplay a little bit. We have played as Link for 50 years now, so I'm not gonna sit up here and say it's getting stale or anything, but it definitely will be a breath of fresh air to play as another character. Now, is it the first time in the quote-unquote series that we've gotten a chance to play as Zelda? No, you got a chance to, like, you know, lead Zelda in the armor. You got a chance to, you know, play as Zelda in the CDI games and things of that nature, but a mainline Zelda game, it's been so many years. Why haven't we had a chance to actually play as Zelda? Another thing that I think could be a very good opportunity is, as we know, and spoiler alert, Link loses one of his arms. We saw that in the trailer. We see that in screenshots. Link somehow loses one of his arms. Now, what if there was a gameplay mechanic where Zelda has the Sheikah Slate that you use from Breath of the Wild, but Link has almost like Sekiro type abilities where he has a prosthetic arm where he can use different abilities from the Sheikah Slate. So we can play as Zelda to have access to the old abilities from the original Breath of the Wild game via the Sheikah Slate, but we also get a breath of fresh air with brand new abilities with Link's prosthetic arm. Like I said, almost like Sekiro. But let's go ahead and move on to number 3. The last thing I'll talk about is the difficulty scaling. Now, the difficulty scaling in the original Breath of the Wild game was kind of all over the place. If you guys remember, the beginning of the game was extremely difficult. And I believe that in Tears of the Kingdom, they should try to make a more balanced gameplay experience. Now, for example, doing something like this could change the entire game. If you remember in the original Breath of the Wild, you can eat food in the midst of battle, which I think is kind of ridiculous. Now, you could say, oh, but you can drink potions in the midst of battle in every other Zelda game. I understand that, but you can only hold but so many. You can hold like 20 something plates of food that can heal you to full and give you more hearts and increase your attack damage. How are you actually learning how to fight these bosses and fight these high level enemies when you're getting your butt handed to you and you just eat a food every time your health gets low? Taking the ability to eat food in the midst of battle will make the game a lot more enjoyable. It will make it more satisfying, and it will also make it more immersive. That's just one example of what they can do to balance the difficulty in this game. You might say, oh, but kids are going to be playing this game. 9 times out of 10, most of the people who are going to be playing this game are coming over from beating or playing Breath of the Wild. So this combat system and or gameplay is not going to be foreign to these players. So I think it's right for them to increase the difficulty of this game. But that's pretty much going to wrap it up for this video, guys. If you like this video, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more content just like this. And let me know down in the comment section below, are you guys looking forward to Tears of the Kingdom? What changes would you make to the game? Ramen out. Peace.